Hello and welcome. So today we are diving into a special relationship reading. So this is for those of you who are seeking clarity about a certain connection in your life, whether it's romantic, but maybe it's just a potential, or perhaps it's an already established relationship. So I've prepared two groups of cards, and you are now invited to choose the one that resonates most with you. Just trust your intuition, whatever pulls you inside, and be open to receiving the message which is meant for you. Hello and welcome to those who chose the first group of cards. So this reading is going to reveal the dynamics between both of you. So we have the card, the Queen of Swords, which represents you as the person who is inquiring about the situation. And then on the other side, we have the Magician. This is the card that represents the other person involved in the situation or in the relationship you're inquiring about. And the Ace of Cups shows your mutual energy, how your energies combine and blend together. So you come into this connection as the Queen of Swords. This is a very wise and clear-sighted person. This is someone who seeks the truth. So this card can show that you were faced with some direct communication. Maybe you provoked it, maybe you were the one receiving it, maybe you were faced with some honest truth, and now your eyes are open and you are now seeing through any illusions or games. And sometimes the card can mean that you're protecting yourself. This is a card of kind of protecting your heart like an armor. Queen of Swords can be a very difficult card, especially in the heart matters. So it can mean a certain kind of sobering up, disillusionment, and also pain. And you're looking directly into the Magician, the person of interest, so of the other person, and you're seeing the person very clearly with clear eyes. So this can simply mean that you've opened your eyes about the situation and some hard, even painful truth has been revealed to you. So the other is the Magician, and this is a very creative person. So also this can be somebody who has a lot of charisma, who takes initiative, who is very capable, and also who has a very strong will. He or she can be a true magician. They can transform reality, and they can also paint a picture which is not completely conformed to the reality of the physical world. They can create magic in your eyes and bring in a special movement and energy that makes the whole situation feel like full of potential. So this shows that this is a person who is inspiring you, who is awakening you. But also it can be a person who is extremely manipulative and who can create a certain kind of illusion. So you are the Queen of Swords, they are the Magician. These two cards show a kind of discrepancy between seeing the truth and painting the truth. And you are now on the path of being aligned with the truth, whereas the other person may not be. They may still create all this magical, illusional world with plenty of charisma and attraction, but not necessarily truthful. And then we have for the mutual energy, we have the Ace of Cups, which is a gift of love and compassion, and it brings emotional renewal. So we see that the connection between you and this person is infused with emotional energy. It's a genuine spiritual energy, and there is an intimacy between you, and the heart is opening. So even though you have a strong mind as a Queen of Swords, and the other person has a very strong will and a power of creativity, there is a heart energy between you two. You are connected with a real tender bond that has a lot of potential to grow and be very fulfilling if nourished in a proper way. And now we take a look at the developments. So in what way this relationship is going to develop. And first we have the Six of Pentacles. This is kind of this is the bond which has a lot of emphasis on who is giving and who is receiving, who is giving what, who is receiving what. Also, it's a very generous and kind card, and a very, very passionate and extremely sensual card. So Six of Pentacles is Moon in Taurus, and that is extremely nourishing and sensual energy. So maybe you enjoy, I don't know, eating together, going some places together, enjoying the beautiful things in life, and this is actually the way you share your energy. And well, with all the sixes, there is this element of harmony. So this sharing, giving and receiving needs to be harmonized, needs to be in a correct balance between the both parties. And then we have the relationship moving into a very, very, well, energetic part. So we have King of Wands and Queen of Wands. So there we have this phase of initiative and desire. So we have a lot of desire present in this union. There is a lot of passion. So there is a lot of also, so one partner may be very confident, may have a strong vision and wants to push forward. And also it is in the relationship we have a lot of power dynamics. So who is expressing what, who is being authentic, who is leading the situation, who is truly bringing fire into the connection. And then we have the Queen of Wands. So this is like a natural counterpart of the King. So we actually see that the relationship actually evolving into a space of equality, of passion. So a shared vitality. So you're going to be sharing equally between King and the Queen. So both partners are strong and magnetic and confident, and they are becoming matched. And they are becoming more balanced. And also this reading also carries a strong energy of social and outwardly visible world. So maybe this is a partnership that is visible, that people notice. Maybe it's a partnership created in business. Maybe you share some business ideas together. Maybe you inspire each other. And you can also be an inspiration to other people as a couple. Because we have the Six of Pentacles, you may also share and inspire each other, or maybe even manipulate each other through shared resources, through money. So this is perhaps also a partnership based on who gives what financially, what kind of resources people bring into the situation. To make things more clear, I pulled 3 cards from an oracle, and we have grip, and we have trash, and plugged. So these cards add a kind of an emotional texture to the development. So they are here to help us understand how this is going to develop. And we have quite a heavy card. So with the grip card, of course, we see chains and we are being weighed down. So perhaps there is a certain kind of being connected with a sense of heaviness, with a sense of being too dependent on the other, or one person is perhaps being too restrictive. So there is a kind of situation with dependency and having too much power over the other person, or you not having enough power for yourself. So this can reflect the imbalance of the harmony of the Six of Pentacles that we observed. So perhaps this harmony is not being observed. So there is a kind of restrictive energy in this relationship, holding one person down, or one person being manipulated by the other, or depending too much on the other. And then we have the trash card, discarding, throwing out. So this is a kind of a cleansing phase. So this corresponds with the Queen of Swords. So the old patterns, illusions, limiting dynamics are being released. And this can also reflect the King of Wands, the one who is claiming the power and taking initiative, because the king always takes initiative and he decides. So there is a kind of decision in this relationship to take out the trash, to cleanse anything that no longer fits. And then we have the future developing into the tuned in, connected. So this connection becomes renewed and aligned. So you're going to plug into each other. Maybe you're going to communicate, maybe you're going to share your resources. Anyway, the energy is going to flow freely and you are going to feel more in synchronicity, which parallels the Queen of Wands. This is being tuned into the same frequency. And then we have the guidance card. Nourish. Well, it's a very clear message corresponding with the whole reading. So the relationship holds great potential, but only when cared for. So you need to nourish the bond, give it time, attention. You need to water that Ace of Cups that exists between you. This Ace of Cups is a gift from heaven. This is coming from the higher realm, from the spiritual place, but you need to treat it gently, with care. And all this passion and fire energy and very strong dynamics that you both have can destroy the potential. Queen of Swords can be too judgmental, Magician can be too manipulative. So take care of that Ace of Cups and nourish the relationship as well as nourish yourselves. So honor your self-care, your spiritual care. Take care of your emotional world. So you need to be both strong individually, and then also the union will thrive. And of course then the relationship is going to go back into to joy, to trust, and not fall into heaviness and imbalance. So be careful of your strong passions, be careful of your strong judgments, nurture yourself and each other through empathy and presence, and encourage each other. You have a great potential for a very beautiful relationship here. So I hope this resonated. Take care, good luck, and see you next time. So hello to everyone who chose the group number 2. Here we have a situation when you as the person asking the question is represented by the Two of Swords. So this is a card of indecision and hesitation. It can also show some emotional block. We see this person in the image crossing the arms in front of her chest. There is the whole sea behind her, showing the sea of emotions. This is the Moon in Libra card. It can show a balance, a harmony, but Moon as a planet is not so well found in the Libra sign, because the air, which Libra belongs to the element of air, can be too detached for the emotional and bind-seeking Moon. So this is like maybe a very rational decision, like this is the best thing to do, this is what will help me, but it's not a very instinctual one. So hence the block can appear, an emotional block, because we are blocking emotions with rational thinking. And of course, because we see this blindfolded person, this can suggest that we don't want to face something, or perhaps we are postponing a decision. So we may be in an inner conflict and we are aware of the tension, but we want to keep the peace. Yeah, we want to avoid the confrontation, because we know that if we stir the boat, all hell could break loose. So we are trying to be still and avoid some unpleasant truth, perhaps. And then we have the other person involved. So they are in the Three of Swords energy, which is like the next stage of the Two of Swords. And this shows pain and heartbreak. It's a very clear image. This is Saturn in Libra card. Saturn is the planet which demands assuming the responsibility, deciding, making clear cuts, setting boundaries, or deciding also for something, to be more committed, to be more honest, to be more truthful. And but Saturn, as we all know, is not a very bright planet, so it can clearly show some emotional wounds and also lessons from the past. So this person, the other person that you are inquiring about or you're interested in, carries some past burdens, and they are bringing them to this connection. Perhaps they were hurt by you, by your words, by your actions, or they may be just guarding themselves because they are in pain and they are going through some kind of sorrow and disappointment. And the person may be very defensive or emotionally distant because of this heartbreak and the wounds they're carrying. It may have nothing to do with you at all, but they reflect that, they show this to you. So they are reserved, even cold, and you maybe in the defense system, you are using your defenses and also showing a very kind of a distant face or just being like super cool about it. But both of you are in a process of rationally defending yourselves. And then the card in the middle, the Five of Pentacles, shows how your energies blend together, what are your mutual energies, how you work together. And of course the Five of Pentacles again is not a very lucky card. In a relationship it can show the feeling of being left out in the cold. We see two people excluded, like walking in the snow. They're both wounded physically and they're walking by the church, so we see this light from the church. So there is an invitation to reconnect, to go back to the wholeness, to the reconnection, to the healing. And the images of people being wounded certainly show that something very deep needs to be healed in this relationship. And it has nothing to do with the relationship itself. It is that you, as both people involved, are bringing out the deepest wounds and feelings of isolation, of not being supported, not being understood, and also being excluded. So this is what you bring out in each other. And also, of course, maybe you're experiencing this also as some kind of a money struggle, material struggle, physical struggle. But in any case, there's like a wall between you two, and you need to find the way to the comfort zone, in the good sense, in the sense of being comfortable with each other, which you are not in this moment. And then we have the development of the relationship. Let's see how things will unfold, and we begin with the Star card. Well, it carries the month of October. Maybe this is meaningful for someone. It means that there can be some positive developments in the month of October. And of course, as the Star card it's a moment of hope, inspiration and healing. And perhaps you also began this relationship with this hope that you will heal. Maybe the relationship gave you a big start, like you were truly hopeful and you felt like now I can truly be naked and honest with this person, as we see this naked figure in the card. So this perhaps was the beginning, and also the relationship helped you to find some clarity and see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you felt like this can be a truly authentic, even a spiritual kind of bond. And this potential is still present in your connection. So this is a kind of star-led connection. You did connect with this higher purpose in mind, and it's still there. It's still present. Then we have the Seven of Swords, and of course this is completely, in a way, opposite to the star. It's like falling from grace. This is the card of avoidance, even betrayal, the feeling that the energy shifted from this openness and hope to secrecy, dishonesty, of someone not being fully transparent. And the card carries the inscription "Se acabó." It means like it's ended in Spanish. It's over. So it feels like, oh, the relationship is over, and it's threatened by these games, or perhaps even an emotional withdrawal. Like one person is having their own plans and agendas, not signaling them to the other. So you are, as together, as a relationship, you are on a breaking point, and trust is broken at this point. And then we have the Justice card with the month of April. Maybe this can carry some significance to someone, or it may just completely not. So don't worry about it if it doesn't resonate. So the Justice as the final development. This is the card of truth, of clarity, and of consequences. So whatever was hidden, like in the Seven of Swords, is coming to light. So you will be accountable to one another, or perhaps the other person will have to assume the responsibility. And of course, you as well, you have to assume the responsibility for having chosen this relationship or this person, or having not been clear about what was happening, or not opening your eyes soon enough. So the Justice card can be a difficult card. It's about restoring balance, but also about stripping away illusions, cutting through illusions. And of course, it can mean that both parties, you and the other, will be very honest. Maybe you will have a very honest conversation, and you will be very clear. You will take off all these blindfolds. You will reveal what truly hurt you, and that can be a moment of deep healing for both of you as a relationship, or it can be the end of the bond, because truth shows what can no longer be denied and breaks the bond. And then I added the Oracle card reading to give some more depth and understanding to the developments of the situation. And the first card that we have are waves, emotions coming and going. And of course, this shows a relationship marked by fluctuating emotions, feelings that come and rise and then recede like tides. And of course, we can have a lot of intensity and passion and attraction, but then complete withdrawal, feeling like nothing. There is no connection. Like this, the other person is a complete stranger. Perhaps this also happens on your side a lot, because we have the Two of Swords on your side, which can mean that you completely cut off the feelings. You just bury them and pretend they're not there, and truly feel that they're not there. You may truly feel like you don't have any kind of feelings left for this person or this situation, but then on the other hand, a new wave can come and completely flood you over with feelings, not always pleasant feelings. It may be feelings of anxiety, of fear, even of rage. So perhaps one or both of you may struggle to be steady, and the whole bond that you have is very unpredictable. And then we have the Meeting card, and this is showing like these flowers blooming. So it has a promising message with this pink color. So people are meeting and they're discussing and planning. So you have a strong pull to connect and communicate. There is a lot of energy even of tenderness and love between you two. So there is a desire to reconcile, and perhaps right now you are in the middle of trying to talk things through or understand each other better. And of course the card is clearly saying that dialogue is necessary. You cannot remain in this unspoken land of feelings. So a kind of negotiation or planning has to happen, and you have to meet to see whether you have a future together. And the future brings the grip card, the chains and weight. So this card shows that the connection feels very binding, like you cannot let it go. So it clearly shows that maybe this is something that is pulling you down. So we started with, in the tarot, with the star card. So the connection was feeling like it was giving a lot of hope and light and carrying you forward. And now, in fact, you feel, oh, this relationship is bringing me down, and you feel like you should cut it off to set yourself free. So strong emotions are there, but there is also a sense of being trapped or restricted. Perhaps your situation is restricting you in some way. And what happens is in this kind of situation, that there are a lot of patterns of attachment and control coming in. So if you are faced with a person for whom you feel they are bringing you down, or they're controlling you, or perhaps you want to control them, usually it's mutual, this shows that you may be facing some deep wounds in the bonding phase. So you are not used to, or you don't know how to bond safely. So this means that you bond too strongly, and you need a total sense of belonging. And any kind of situation that shows that there is not a complete bond, a complete sense of attachment, a small situation that can, like threaten your bond, can completely throw you off your route, and you can be completely disintegrated. So you are fearing any kind of situation that can put some cracks into your bond. So you may be reacting with a too strong emotional attachment and control. And for this situation, it's typical that then to counteract it, you withdraw completely. So this is a kind of painful attachment that we see in this situation, and combined with the tarot card of the Five of Pentacles that we have in your mutual energies. So it shows that this relationship is teaching both of you how to bond safely, how to create a bond that is still a bond, but it's not too deep of an attachment. So if you have these security issues and attachment issues, you are going to attract a person who will not be able to be completely there for you, so that the person can bring out your deepest fears of isolation and being abandoned. And then, of course, we project that on the other. We throw everything on the other, and the other is at fault that we feel so unsafe and so unsteady. And I'm not saying that the other person has no responsibility, but the whole relationship dynamics, the whole thing that we created, is a reflection of our deep inner struggles and fears. That's why we have the healing card as the oracle guide, as the message. There is deep healing happening in this relationship, and before you decide whether to reconcile or to separate, you first need to start healing. So this is like a mirror relationship. Well, all relationships are a mirror, but this one is particularly reflecting wounds and attachments and karmic lessons. So healing, the healing card is asking you to release the chains of fear, of feeling betrayed, because it's not necessarily about the other person. This is the Justice card. You have to assume the responsibility for your own feelings. not throw them on the other person. And of course, the same goes for the other person. They should not throw their own feelings of whatever they're going through. And they are going through a lot. They have 3 of Swords cards, so they are going through a heartbreak. And they are feeling isolated. They are feeling rejected. They are feeling left out as well. So they may be throwing this on you. And you are blocking yourself with the 2 of Swords. You're like saying, oh no, I don't want this. You know what I mean? So any kind of feelings of betrayal, fear, isolation, it's about you. It's not about the other. This is extremely difficult to do because, of course, the other person provokes things in us. But let's take responsibility for what is being provoked in me. So you need to find your own balance. Don't search for it in the other. You need to be emotionally stable and not depend on the waves that come from the other. This is, as we all know, the basis for any healthy relationship, and we all need to learn this lesson in one way or the other. But in this particular situation, those who chose the group 2 are particularly vulnerable for this kind of dynamic. And so don't throw everything on the other. Face your feelings of isolation and abandonment. That would be the gist of your lesson. And there is healing happening. And when this healing occurs, you will be able to create either a completely different relationship with this person from a space of wholeness, from the space of clarity. And then the bond will still serve your growth, or perhaps you will need to heal on your own. And the lesson will be to be able to let go of a bond that is bringing you down and keeping you chained. So either you go through reconciliation by assuming the responsibility. Keep that justice card in mind. Don't go to the other person, well, you did that to me and I feel like shit because of you. No. Say, I'm feeling abandoned, isolated, or detached, or just completely frozen because this is what I'm dealing with. And this relationship provokes these feelings in me. And the other person has to say, yes, I'm in pain, I'm in sorrow, I'm in grief, and I want certain things from you, and I'm not getting them, and I'm blaming you. So if you are both able to go into this one-on-one conversation with this kind of clarity and this kind of responsibility, then you can transform this relationship into a relationship built on truth and trust again. But you need to do it equally. You need to commit to the truth, your personal truth, equally. If not, then it's on you. So you, the beloved who chose the group number 2, to be able to free yourself from this weight, reclaim your wholeness, reclaim your center, and carry this wisdom forward into a new beginning. So either way, you are healing, whether together or separately. This is for you to choose, so it's not decided yet. There is still a chance to heal. There is still a chance to go forward together with clarity, but with this condition that you assume and take responsibility for your own feelings of deep, deep isolation, betrayal, fear, and lack. This is a deep lesson. It's a karmic lesson. You've been carrying it for many lives, perhaps. So don't throw it completely on the other person. The other person came to provoke this in you. So I hope this resonated. I wish you good luck and see you in the next reading.